When we take a look to some organizations, whether in UAE or US, UK or Japan, or some entities also in Latin America, we have discovered that some of them has managed innovation successfully because they have implemented the methodology of the Global Innovation Management Institute. You will find that this methodology has proven track record of more than 40 years of experience of top consultancy firms like Arthur D. Little, Monitor Group. And what we found is that we need to consider 4 elements to successfully manage innovation. So the first one is to innovate from individual, from solo, to the team, because there are more chances to succeed by assigning pursuit teams. The second one is to understand the nature and thinking styles of each individual within the team. I'm sure you might be familiar with that 6 thinking hats from Edward de Bono. So you don't apply all those hats through the whole entire process of innovation management. So, for example, the blue hat is the more organized, right? So this hat has to be, or this person has to be all the way through the whole chain of the process of innovation, because it's more organized and it has to be the one who project manage it. Then you have the yellow one, the optimistic one, then especially at the very beginning of the stage, because you need to have more ideas, to populate more ideas, no, in the diverse stage. Then you have the black hat, which is the more risky. So maybe those ones are at the later stage when you need to converge ideas and emerge. Then the green hat that puts forward new ideas. The white, the more analytical facts, no, which might be also in the connected dots, and the red, emotional, intuitive. Each hat plays a role in each stage of innovation process. Sometimes the organization itself are black hat, completely black hat. So that is why they create incubators to protect those ideas. And the third one is to remind ourselves of the power of having a diverse team. You know, have you heard this expression of fill the room with barbarians, right? Because if you have, imagine I'm a lawyer from my background, so if you have all lawyers in your team, and you probably will have all black hats there. So you don't want to kill your idea at the very beginning. So what you need is have a diverse team, maybe a lawyer, then an engineer, an architect, a photographer. No? So you need to have a diverse team, no? Or multicultural team as well, to power all those new ideas. And then the last one, no, of the 4 elements to successfully manage innovation will be to be aware that innovation needs a process. So innovation project needs to be agile, so execution should be fast. We also want to pressure to make it quickly to fail. Yes, fail. Quickly to fail, to learn quickly, and to obtain a successful innovation later, but not so later. Right? So quick fail, to learn quickly and obtain successful innovation. As I mentioned, the process will take you to obtain a successful innovation project, no, or to manage innovation properly. So there are 5 stages, no, and I like this methodology because it comes from the Global Innovation Management Institute. Again, has been applied all around the globe, no. For example, in UAE through Shifting Partners, a SIA Partners company. In Colombia as well with Conciencias, a project run from the government, right? As well in South Korea with Seoul University, and in US and in UK with Hull University Business School, and in Singapore with Singaporean Management Business School. Many other organizations as well that are the partners at GIMI. So the first phase of the process is the setup, no? Where you find a problem or the opportunity, no? The second one is the diverge. You look for possible solutions or trends. The third one is the connect. These are like when Dr. Hitendra Patel mentioned that connect the dots, no? Because the more connections you make, then the more robust concepts you will come up with at the end. The fourth stage of this process is to converge, to narrow those possibilities till make them manageable, feasible solutions by prioritizing them. And the last one is the merge, no? Finally execute into a prototype, a soft prototype. There are three ways to innovate. The first one is the incremental innovation. These are more or less, let's say, what every company has started to do in the world, no? Little improvements. No, for example, Toyota has been connecting many small incremental improvements. That's what we call incremental innovation. The second one is the breakthrough innovation. This is another way to innovate, and is to start working today in something that maybe can be a game changer. Of course, there is a higher uncertainty and risk involved in this, but you know that with uncertainty and high risk, what comes? A high reward, which will not kick in the first year, but maybe in the next ones, and that is breakthrough innovation. And then we talk about the unicorns. This is what we call radical innovation. For sure, this will be, for example, at that time, maybe Steve Jobs when it comes with that great idea, but that is more difficult to do, and probably most of the countries, no, especially the developing countries, will focus more on breakthrough innovations nowadays. The rules of each vary, yeah, because in the first one, the incremental innovation, you need to look from the past and take that to the future, take the data. And in breakthrough and radical innovation, what you do is that you look to the future and try to predict that. Whether some organizations are innovating in any of those types, no, every innovation, I do believe, entails change, but not every change involves innovation. Therefore, innovation management should be driven along with change management. Well, where to innovate? There are 5 dimensions or areas where to innovate. These can be 1, a product or a service. Second, the channel. That means you can, maybe there are some companies that deliver the same products, but they use different channels. The third will be provide a different experience. The 4th area or dimension where to innovate is in the way companies produce. No? They can produce more efficiently in a shorter time. For instance, Zara, the retailing company, they create a faster way to turn around the seasons. So they re-engineer their supply chain only having few weeks. And the 5th area or dimension where to innovate is the way we make money. Is the business model innovation. The classical example is Nespresso. No, they create a way to come up with more money without having to worry about the machine itself. So they just say, okay, let's give to Germany or other company to create the machine, espresso machines, and then we produce the coffee capsules. At that moment, of course, they were the only ones they can suit for those type of machines, and that was the way they innovate in their business model. What I want to say with this is like leaders innovate in the 5 dimensions, not only in one. I mean, you can innovate only one, but to be considered as a country leading innovation or as a company really innovative, you need to innovate in the 5 dimensions that I have just mentioned. Because you need to restrict your competitors to imitate you and to keep innovation premium, and that allows you to have a sustainable growth. Through my experience in Middle East, Southeast Asia, UK and Latin America, I have found that in order to innovate, some countries design their own set of policies or rely on their cultural factors or particular circumstances. However, those are not the main drivers for innovation to happen. They do influence, but countries do not have to be like US or China or Switzerland or any other innovative country. I do believe that countries need to be aware of their own particular scenarios and to understand their local and global trends. And they can guarantee success in managing their innovation by building networks, the power of innovation ecosystems. This always requires to develop people's capabilities on innovation management. I would like to finish with what I call the PIC, Purpose, Innovation and Change. Charles Darwin mentioned this quote that I like a lot. It is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage change. And I will add, not only change, those who can also manage innovation, because innovation is new ways of creating new value. And I think those ways of creating new value will happen when people are really engaged by a purpose. When your employees or the employees of any organization are engaged with the purpose of the organization, because they are inspired, they will be motivated, they will be committed, engaged, willing to invest their resources in developing those new ideas that will work out those global or that particular company challenges. To be or not to be. And I always choose to be Jenny Tsuboyama. Acting now as the Global Innovation Management Institute Ambassador, focused on UK and Peru markets. Please feel free to contact me to enable the innovation capabilities of your organization, of your employees, whether you are a corporate or a government or a startup. I can help you by delivering 3 things. 1, a 2 to 3 days training on innovation management with a Global Innovation Management Institute certification. 2, a 3 to 5 month program, which is an acceleration program where it involves as well coaching. So your organization will receive, or we will work together to have robust business concepts. And third, a 45 minutes keynote that will motivate your employees in your organizations to make innovation happen with purpose. Thank you.